Go ahead and play it, take it off.
Yeah, it look like it's some kind of student. Look like it's some kind of small student in it. From the mic. there. Let me make sure. Location to what, sir? Location to what? Number 1 Morris Street. Important. Right. Okay, okay. Hmm. Hmm. All right, Shalom Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and the Commandant General Yohana. Right? This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge in Trinidad location, based in Point Fortin. Right? The location of the school is number 1, lamppost number 1, Morris Street. Right? By the Wasta sign on the road, right? There's your way point. The landmark basically, and you located right there. All right, and today, thanks for joining us for this Sabbath service, right? I am Prison Officer Tazwo, right? And we begin. So sit tight. Some of y'all might be brand new, you don't know exactly what's going on with the cases, but we will break it down as time go by, right? This is the tradition of our forefathers and them, right? Then we begin, all right? Lawyer Charlotte Minister Israel. Right? The Panya Kodam, sir, which means the thing. See the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew first. Abanaw, Shabashimai, Wadash, Aya, Shamka, Yahoo, Alakwaka, Tamaa, Matazaka, Aya, Aisha, Ma'aratasa, Kawa, Aya, Washamai, Nathan, Tanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalatno, Kamubatno, Kasalatno, Kabuatino, Wala, Tabaino, Wanasayawan, Abal, Awashino, Ayan, Ra, Ya, Waka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Watapara, Waiwalemi, Ama, In the English, what we just said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. And the Hakam, we pray for the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Babakashah, Natananau, Akak, Akak, Rabba'a, Kamakala, Wakamanawa, Akak, Mata'a, Amatsarim, Akak, Wakoyam, Matliam, Akak, Alwakawat, Atamal, Nagarasha, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the one Amma. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against the unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. This is the prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Rabbanau, Aisha'ala, Abayak, Saparia, Barak, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, the one Aman. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Ashah, Ayanya, Al-Hahari, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratazah, Alatan, Namawat, Wagalta, Alianawam, Samarka, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashun, Shawama, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Zalka, Aliyah, Yamianka, Yawam, Ashamash, La'ayakaka, Wariyak, Walayala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Makara, Shema, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Shema, Zaata, Babaata, Maita, Wai, Awalam. In the English, what we just said was, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Most High, which made heaven and earth. Will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Most High is thy keeper. The Most High is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Most High shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Most High shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Right? Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayy, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Takarash, Al-Tashkwar, Al-Kayahana, Hawayabeka, Hamayawan, Mashanayaka, Sha'ara, Sha'awa, Slaki, Rash, Alamaka, Irayamwa, Sawadwa, Yawa Aitasawa, Atisaponyaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Lakak Yadam, Makawia, Wala'a, Yazaka, Shamya Shahala, Aiwat Kaya, Nawa Aitasawa, Labad Karwa, Alika, Maria, Karakwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wayashamai, Alayim, Hawaaba, Wahagari, Kabal, Waimawan, Waimala, Palasha, Ame Shabia, Tasawo, Damashawo, Nalawa, Imam, Ayawa, Sarawat, Banyalawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Tamadian, Tasayasra, Yabian, Manaka, Wayashwa, Naishamarwa, Ba'ayadna Ara, Ayawa, the money, La Adama, Sayathamwa, the Dagma, Slaki, the Dagma Mawa, Kaira, Okasahaba, Okasaba, Okasamanai, Kal Nasiyakamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Nairasha, Nawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Sayathamwa, Tagalgala, the Quash, the Panyarokwa, the Hatch, the Maira, the Ira, Wakalahaba, the Lahat, Arayam, Kanta Wadapma, Masa Iraka, the Basa, Mapata, the Bahalam, Malaa, Panyam, Walawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahao, Yabashwa, Wayaba Halwa, Aidai, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Ya, Ata, Shamka, Yahao, Nabaka, Ayawan, Alkalha, Aratasa. ISUPK Christians, blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, listen to us now. Oh, slow. Write Psalm 33 in the English. Keep not thy silence. O Most High, hold not thy peace. And be not still. O Most High, for lo, thine enemies maketh them up, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together, one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, and Moab, and the Agarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa is also joined with them. They have fought with the children of God. Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, and the book of his son, which perished at Endor, it became as down for the earth. They make their nobles like a rat, and like Zeb, yea, all their princes, as Zebah, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of the Most High in possession. O my God, make them like the wave, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempests, and make them afraid with thy sword. Fill their fists with shame, that they may seek thy name, the Most High, that they be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, that they be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, his name alone, is Yahweh, and the Most High over all the earth. The ISUPK says, blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now, to evils and curses, on punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the schools, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the church of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school, force the riches to enter into thy sanctuary, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, ambulance synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, post-comatasi, the gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, on the airways, cable access channels, on the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring some destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words to other planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro to the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake. And also the thief and the murderer, the Awasha, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that are done it. Cause it to be spread to the media, to all the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahusha, thank you always. So be it. Psalm 23, right? The shop here, which means to have to still. Right, so again, we are the Israelites full of universal practical knowledge out of 1,125 Shida of New York. We teach the truth since 1969 that so for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Israelites, are the people of the Bible, right? And today again is the Sabbath service, so we're going to start from Exodus chapter 34, verse 4 out of our records, right? Out of the King James Version of the Bible. Start in the Hebrew verse and then read in the English after, all right? Vayama, Yahweh, Al, Shema, Masha, Pasla, Laka, Shanya, Lakath, Abanayam, Kara'a, Shanayam, Waka, Tabataya, Ay, Alakat, At, Adabariyam, Asha, Ayawa, Ay, Alakat, Ara'a, Shanayam, Asha, Shabarak, verse 2. Wahayaha, Nakawan, Labaka, Wa'ai, Layat, Babaka, Al, Ara, Sayanaya, Wana, Tazabath, Laya, Sham, Ai, Rash, Aha, Bustri, Wa'ayash, La'a, Ya'aila, Aimaka, Wagama, Ayash, Al, Yara'a, Makala, Ahara, Gum, Ataza'a, Ataza'ana, Waha, Maka, Al, Yara'aiwa, Al, Mawala, Ahara, Ahawa'a, was 4. Waya, Salah, Shanya, Lakat, Abanayam, Kara'a, Shanayam, Waya, Shakam, Masha, Babaka, Waya Aila, Al, Ara, Sayanaya, Tasha, Tazawa'a, Yahweh, Atawa, Waya, Wayakak, Waya, Dawa, Shanya, Lakat, Abanayam was 5. Waya Rada Yahweh. Ba'ainana Waya Tayatazaba Aimawa Sham Waya Para'a Basham Yahweh was 6. Waya Aiba Yahweh Ain Pana Yahweh Waya Para'a Yahweh Al Rakawam Waka Nayawa Salakia Nawana Arak Apayam Ora'a Salakia Oraba Fasad Wa Amath was 7. Natazar Fasad La'a Lapayam Nasha'a Iwana Wapa Sha'ai Wakata Aha Wana Wanaka Salakia La'a Inaka Pekan Iwana Abba Abawaf Ai Manayam Wa'ila Manya Manayam Ai Shalah Shayam Shalashyam Salakia Wa'ila Raba'ayam, right? And right, verse 8. Waya Bamaha Masha Waya Bayakad Aratazaha Waya Shatakawa verse 9. Waya Ma Na'a Mataza Ataya Kana Ba'ai Yanayak Adanaya Yalaka Na'a Adanaya Maka Banawa Kaya Aima Slaki Aim Pasha Irapa Awa'a Wasa Lakat La'ai Wananawa Wala Kata'a Tanawa Wana Katalanawa Rusten Wayama Ana Anakaya Karata Barayat Salaki Barayat Nagad Kal Aimaka Aishaha Napa La Asha La'a Naba Ra'awa Bakala Arataza Waba Kala Naga Warayam Ra'aha, Kal, Ha'imah, Asha, Ata, Baka, Babawa, Ak, Ma'aisha, Yahweh, Kaya, Nawara'a, Awa'a, Asha, Anya, Aisha, Aimaka, right? And that was 10. Exodus chapter 34 and verse 4, right? And he hewed 2 tablets of stone, like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning and went up unto Mount Sinai, Slovakia, as the Lord had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tablets of stone. And the Most High descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Most High. Right? Verse 6. Maybe the verse 5. And the Lord descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Most High. Right? Just a quick pause on that, right? Because the Bible, right, was translated into English from Hebrew, and people don't understand what the Hebrew would have mean and all of that. You would have sometimes what people just call contradictions in the Bible because they don't understand the language, right? It's coming from the language I'm talking about now. It's someone kind of mad kind of way, right? They didn't understand what the context of what it is they're talking about. There are times that in the Bible, words like Lord and God means, understand, either powers, it could mean judges, it could mean rulers, it could mean the Most High himself, it could mean just the person in charge. It could be referring to that. But the context is important because the historical records and the background behind it, you would understand. That is why people say things about the Bible that they don't understand, because the black people, right, the black Hispanics and Native Indians, which is one people supposed to be passing this down. This Bible is not for everybody to try and figure out. Right now it is go. I don't come into the other people communities, they follow and try to read out the Bangwan Gita and tell them the context behind that. That is why there's a confusion on the earth, because the Bible is the best book on the planet. So everybody wants to grab onto hold it and try to use things from it, but they don't understand what it's talking about. So they could never implement the wisdom that is here to be executed the way it's supposed to be. So that's why there's that kind of confusion, just for context. We don't know. Verse 6. And the Most High passed by before him and proclaimed the Lord, and the Most High power, the merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. Verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the 3rd and 4th generation. Now, verse 7, look at that, right? So for somebody that don't understand the Bible now, they would say things like, but we're going on here. Keeping mercy for thousands and forgiving iniquity and transgression, but you know why it's playing the guilty, meaning that you would know that you need to be earnest, you understand, honest in what you're doing for the Lord now, you understand, to forgive your sins, right? You would know, let's clear the guilty. If you're guilty of what you're doing, you follow. Now, don't know something about that, right? I'll call it this, right? Right? We call it now, he will just continue here, just we call it do what it is he's supposed to do. So he's saying, if you understand, I have merciful. So if you know you change your ways, whatever the case is, I will forgive you. Right? But if you don't come on the same words he's saying, I will understand and no wise play the guilty, because that person decided that he want to do something either we call it presumptuously or we call it premeditatively, right? So you premeditate, this is what you want to do. You plan to, like how they say, Christians they still say this before they go on to something, they say, God forgive me. That is not how the Most High operate. And because it wasn't taught the right way, that is why you would say things like this and you wouldn't understand exactly how the Lord is work and what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do. Right? They would understand that what a error is, as opposed to we call it something that you mean to do. Right? An error is doing something in the midst of something, you bounce on somebody, you throw a cup somewhere like that. You know what I mean? You're working on something and a tool followed and hit somebody and analyze them. That was a mistake. You understand? The Lord could say, well, yeah, of course, people have understanding. Not because that happened mean you wouldn't face a penalty. Right? It may have a penalty same way with that, but at the same time, is our understanding of what it is and how true and how earnest it's supposed to be. But the society does not they don't operate by that standard. That is why they place in this kind of mess. If also it will really pay good to continue to tap into the class and listen up whatever the case is and then ask questions that kind of way. Today is not a day ready to ask questions. We have class throughout the week, Monday to Thursday. You understand? Them is the days to more ask questions now. Right? But if you leave a question there, somebody will get back to you and answer the question. So you're going to leave that in the inbox, the comments, whatever the case is, especially on YouTube and Facebook, because we wouldn't see it on TikTok, you understand? Because by the time the live done, it's gone. Right? That's how this platform is operating. But I'll feel free to leave all the questions and whatever the case is done, somebody will get back to you. All right, inbox the page, the ISUPK channel there. All right? We don't know. Verse 8. And Moses made haste and bowed his head toward the earth and worship. Verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Most High, let my Lord, I pray thee, go amongst us. For it is a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thine inheritance. Verse 10. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvels, such as have not been done in the earth, in all the earth, nor in any nation. And for the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Most High, for it is a terrible thing that I do with thee. All right, and then read it. All right, next verse.
Makakobal, Ban Banyanyam Banyashal,
Makakobal, Ban Banyamin Banyashal,
Yahawaba Shia Shabrakita,
how about Shri Shabakata? Salaki, read it. That's the make I study. You're reading from Exodus chapter from the syllabus.
and then from this one.
Yeah, not from the stem. I'm just not slack, you know. I read from this one, the syllabus. Yeah, sorry.
I'm the syllable file found.
I'm just
Exodus chapter 34. Reading from the continuing reading Salakia from the book of Exodus chapter 34, reading from verse 11.
Right.
Shamara, Lakah, Atha, Ashar.
17. Yeah. That's right. Go ahead, read.
Anaka, Kaya, Matazah, Waka.
Yeah, correct. Don't listen to me. Yeah.
Matazah, Waka, Kaya, Wama, Hana, Naya, Garasha, Mapa, Nayaka, Atha, Ha'ama, Raya, Waha, Hana, Ai, Naya, Waha, Athaya, Wahapan, Ra'aya, Waha, Kawaya, Waha, Kaba, Wasaya, Pasha, Mara, Laka, Kana, Kaka, Rata, Bara, Yatha, Laya, Washa, Ba, A'a, Rataza, Ashara, Athar, Ba'a, Ayla, Yaha, Pana, Yaha, Yaha, Lamawa, Pasha, Matha, Rabaka, Kaya, Atha, Ma'ai, Makathma, Tha, Taza, Wana, Wa'atha, Mataza, Matham, Tasha, Bara, Wana, Wa'atha, Asha, Rayaw, Taka, Rata, Wana, Kaya, La'a, Tasha, Taka, Waha, la'a, la, akar, kaya, yahawa, wana, samawa, Allah, wana'a, hawa, hana, taka, rata, bara, yada, raya, washa, ratiza, wa'ai, nawa, aka, raya, Allah, ya, hama, wa'ai, bakawa, la'a, lahaya, hama, wakwa, ra'a, laka, wa'aka, lata, ma'ai, bakawa, wala, wakata, mabana, tayawa, laba, nayaka, wa'ai, nawa, wana, tayawa, aka, raya, Allah, haya, hana, waha, ainawa, ata, wana, yaka, aka, raya, Allah, haya, hana, Allah, haya, masai, kaha, la'a, the Aisha, laqwa. As the end of the reading in the Hebrew, in the English reading from 11 to verse 17, book of Exodus. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Ammonite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. But ye shall destroy their altars, break down their images, and cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other power, for the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods. And one call thee, and thou eat of the sacrifice, and thou take their daughters unto thy sons, and thy daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods.
So what a family, right? You see how important that is. You hear the Lord calling, you understand? They call it going and making yourself, they call it douglarizing the nation and marrying, you understand, laying down and having relations with other races. The Lord said that it's going a whoring. And here's what does happen. Not will happen or might not happen, or I feel like it will happen to me. You will, you understand, go and try to appease your spouse and follow after their custom. The Lord just call that, you understand, for them. And he just call that, we call this thing idol worship. That is when, you understand, you decide by, I'm not going to follow what God's saying. I feel this way, you understand, could work too. Or I feel, you understand, we could coexist and all that garbage. The Lord said, not, he said, take heed to yourself. In other words, watch out. Pay attention that you don't go and make them kind of, I call it covenant. And that we telling you, understand, if you go and lay down with these people and them, that is what will happen. If you go and try to be the body and pally and friend and all of that, you understand, that is exactly what will happen. You're going to end up doing and falling after their customs. Going after and this, and then the land is fall to all kind of destruction. That is what has happened today in society today. That is what the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian facing. And plus we getting the filthy end of the stick. We always get the short stick because we think, you know, because they in power and they have money and whatever the case is, we will get them same thing. When the Lord telling you not, that will be a destruction, it will be a snare trap to you. And that is exactly what is happening. It is never, they will never put you on the same platform with them. Never put your people on the same level with them. Somebody had to be the servant and somebody had to be the master. And the Lord telling you, understand, that you was not supposed to be the servant. They were supposed to be, understand, the servants and all of that. And because you know to be a good master, they don't teach their people, understand, how to be fair and just and not push, you understand, all kind of narcotics in your communities, and not, you understand, they call it making people and them sterile and cause all kind of 300 and something thousand, they call this thing, babies and abortions, right? And all kind of essays and all that. That is the culture of the people in them because they don't have no checkers. Nobody stopping them to say, no, you cannot do this here. They're saying, you understand, zakat and all kind of different excuses why they're saying that they could do that. As opposed to what the Lord telling you, you was never supposed to be involved in. Got anything there?
Yes, so like I say, if I mean, we're bringing also heavy as the see, as I was mentioning, as it is today. Because this is what the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man don't understand.
Correct.
Just as how we start serving other gods, we start serving Caesar Borgia, we start serving Allah and so forth. That is what the scriptures just showing me. To follow these instructions and rules that the Most High push down to me.
Correct.
Because now we start doing things a different way.
Correct.
Now we reach in a position that we don't understand how to love one another.
Correct.
We reach in a position where, just like the white man, any opportunity we get to blame me brother for something, we will hurry. Correct. To blame me brother. You understand what I'm saying? We hurry to do, as scripture say, eat the flesh of your own arm.
Correct.
We're not looking for the root cause of this problem, right? To try to establish the law within the black community, right? And among the people, right? To bring the right things to the surface, to bring the kingdom of heaven here on earth. And forsaking these instructions, right, is what causing these problems. We're not able to establish this law. We're not able to go into the nitty-gritty of this law and ensure that this law is instituted among our people. Yes. That is why we need to get back in the ISUPK under command generally, right? And trust the process. Correct. You understand what I'm saying? Correct. This is like when a man marry a woman, they vet the woman, and do all of that. Right? But now you have to allow the relationship to keep growing and building. It's a process. Correct. Some things you will like, some things you wouldn't like. Correct. But then we're going to understand, hey, that we need to do this thing, which is press it forth to the price that they mark at the high court. Right. Which means we had to make adjustments, improve, and go forward. That is it. Not harbor. Correct. Not make grudges come up into it. Correct. And that start eating our way, and now it interfering with your judgment. Right. It interfering with the ability for you to see what is the next move is supposed to be. Correct. Because your spirit in a place where it's not supposed to be. Correct. That is why the scriptures warn us about things like that and holding grudges. Because even among black people, if we're not careful, that spirit that the white man have on him, that perpetual hatred will take you. Yes. And it will destroy you. Correct. Slowly but surely, and you won't be able to see the white man can't stop himself. Correct. Right now, you have war over the world, and they will still find a way to blame black people. Correct. They will find some way. Correct. No matter how nice you behave, no matter how nice you move, no matter what you do, they will find a way to say that it is you. Correct. Because that is the spirit of the oppressor. Yes. And blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics must understand we need to come back to these laws. Correct. And establish these laws on the earth. Correct. As we say, one brick at a time. That is it. And getting the ISUPK under command generally is the only place I have the structure to ensure that this keep happening, keep growing, and keep building. Correct. That is what it is. Right. There's no stand a chance on the outside of the ISUPK. You need to get in and go brick by brick. Wherever you might face, it's better you face it in here. Correct. Because outside of that is no hope. Correct. You understand what I'm saying? And what needs to be out will be out, and what needs to be in will be in over time. Correct. That is what this mill is. Correct. We initially water and the fire. Correct. And we need to come to a place of maturity to understand that. Right. This is not about like, this is about going through the process. Yes. Trusting the process. Correct. This is not about what you want, and what you feel, and how you think. Correct. And black people need to submit themselves under the spirit of the Most High power so that we will understand what is needed here. Right. Because our Christian pastors have taught us enough lies. Correct. That as I say in the other day, like for me, they teach me everything else but submitting to that law. Correct. So then we need to keep checking ourselves every time, because every time we're supposed to establish the law, we self coming out, the Christianity coming out. Correct. You understand what I'm saying? Correct. Because we leaping beyond the law. Correct. And we need to understand, get yourself in order. Right. And you can't get that clean without coming in this house. That's right. In this body. Correct. The body of Christ. Correct. With the Christian pastor that had the time and the time up now, and I know that too. Correct. What else did have for black people to try again? Right. The law. Correct. We did everything else. Just as the officer was bringing out Salake for me, we went a whoring to all gods, and the Lord warning us not to go astray and a whoring with other gods. Right. Not even to intermarry into other bloodlines. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? Correct. Because we want to stray away from the law, which we did. Correct. That is what have us in the situation we're in today. Correct. If right now the so-called black man, Native Indian man, and Hispanic man can come to the place where we're not selling drugs to one another. Correct. There's no child molestation and unaliving in the black community. We're not selling drugs to one another. We're not holding grudges
Correct.
against one another.
Correct.
We will instantly have heaven on earth.
That's right. Correct.
That's what we need. We need the law.
Correct.
But we're trying everything else.
Correct.
And it's time for us to wake up and realize, hey, the only missing piece to this puzzle
Correct.
that our oppressor and the religious leaders prevent us from partaking in
Right.
is the law.
Correct.
Serving God without fear.
Correct.
Every time the so-called black man go to keep the law, they have an issue.
Correct.
You say, boy, me and smoking again, boy, I'm to you, boy. You say, you ain't doing this again, boy, I'm to you, but you're trying to go this particular road.
Correct.
Some roadblock coming to stop the so-called black man from serving God
Correct.
without fear.
Correct.
Right? And that's what we need to recognize and we need to come to.
That's right.
Get into the ISUPK under commanding General Yana, because here you will be able to serve the Lord without fear.
That's right.
You will get the adjustments, your cleanups, your put-ons and the take-offs.
Correct.
That is the name of the game. And
Correct.
you're going to get back rulership of the state.
That's right.
That will not become a culture, and that is going to be Salake. I think my hand post this thing.
Oh, that's the water. Yeah, man. In the back.
Right? It will cause the so-called black man, native Indian man to pick up a culture, right? Which is the spirit of the Most High, the laws, the commandments, and the statutes.
That's right.
That is what the so-called black man had to fight for.
Correct.
They had to get fight to be clothed with the spirit of the Most High, and take off them leaves as Adam did from the body. Take off Christianity, take off Islam, take off Egyptology, take off yourself.
That's right.
And understand the name of the game.
Correct.
You understand? We as vessels,
Correct.
getting that deep, getting that wise. The wisdom we walking with, the understanding we have is that which we get from the Most High. Anyway.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
This is what we need to understand. So the so-called black man, native Indian man, and Hispanic man are the fight. You understand? This as we hear in the Sabbath services every week, making the so-called black man get that idea, a glimpse at this culture.
Right.
As the time is getting worse and worse,
Correct.
it's going to become more clear and more clear that this is the place for the so-called black man, native Indian man, and Hispanic man.
That's right.
Right? We have that faith.
Correct.
Right? That this, all the pieces is going to come together.
Correct.
And that's what we want to continually be doing and pushing this.
If I may add to what you're saying, this is super heavy because the oppressor and the Christian leaders, and I understand that sign up to be a destruction to you, always pushing like the law, something to fear. The officer was saying something super heavy that you must get to really recognize and understand, which is this. The law, you understand, is for the Most High, is for you to serve the Most High without fear. You would not, it is not, you understand, something that's to crush your soul or that's to whip over your back. Right now, the law for, you understand, the law is to protect yourself. It's to protect your people and them, is to make sure you follow that you have a proper understanding of what, you understand, what to do, how to do it, you understand, the spirit behind going and doing that. You follow? So that now you follow, you don't have no roadblocks, you don't have no objections, you have nothing stopping you from really functioning the way I was designed to do. It's only, you understand, people that do kind of, you know, you're kind of half cracked because you're watching animals together, right? You're watching, we call it zebra and zebra, lion and lion, tiger and tiger, and now, imagine now a tiger and a zebra in anything and they're trying to make a child. When the Lord didn't want that, that is why he do some flooded the whole earth. Understand some as the officer was saying here, it ain't wise, it ain't that deep. It's just they're lacking common sense in terms of understanding what it is because the oppressor said a lie. We know it's two different spirits. You know the Arabs and the Chinese mix, understand? It's all kind of different things. They're not supposed to be so. The Lord wipe out the entire earth for that, and you want to come away from that and come back to the structure, how things is. Come back and understand why. What was the really used for this whole book? This what the big book is? A whole big book. No sweat, but a whole big book. I think so. Are you telling me that had no use? You tell me all the laws as the officer was saying there. You follow. You telling me that day you follow some that to destroy you. That you don't really understand that this can't help you then. This is why he's saying that this is the only place that is valued that and the only place that you could do that because nobody else understands the value of them book at our book. All right. So I want to take away from anything he's saying. That's what added to what he's saying and hang on to that. Right. So plug in to the nearest ISUPK to you. All right. Anything you want to add on before we move on? Anything? Go through solid again to other.
Continue reading from the book of Exodus, chapter 34.
Yeah, 34.
34 and verse 18.
Correct.
Atha, Kaga, Hamataza, Watha, Tashamara, Shaba, Aitha, Yama, Ta'akala, Mataza, Watha, Asha, Taza, Waya, Taka, Lama, Wa Aida, Kadasha, Ka'a, Baya, Ba, Kaya, Maka, Jasha, Ha'a, Gayaba, Hataza, Atha, Ma, Mataza, Rayam, Kala, Patha, Ra, Rakama, Laya, Waka, Salakia, Wakala, Makwa, Naka, the I, Kara, the I, Shawara, Washa, Wapatas, Tara, Kama, Wara, Tapa, the Ha, Washa, Wa Ama, La'a, Tapa, the Ha, Wa I, Rapa, Tawa, La, Makawara, Mana, Yaka, Tapa, the Ha, Wala'a, Yara, Awa, Panaya, Raya, Kwam, Shashta, Yaman, Yama, Tha'ai, Mada, Waba, Yawama, Pasha, Maya, Aya, Pasha, Mata, Maka, Raya, Rayasha, Waba, Pataza, Yara, Pasha, Mata, Wakara, Shabbat, Aitha, Ta'ai, Sha, Laka, Maka, Waraya, Pataza, Ya, Yara, Katha, Yama, Wakara, Pa'a, Sayapa, Takwa, Wapatha, Pasha, Naya, Naha, Shalasha, Pa'ai, Mayam, Bashanaha, Yara, Aha, Pala, Aika, Waraka, Atha, Panaya, Pa'a, the Nana, Yahawa, Allah, Haya, Washa, Ra'Allah, Kaya, Awa, Rayasha, Gawa, Yama, Mapa, Nayaka, Waha, Raka, Mathaya, Atha, Gaba, Laka, Allah, Yaka, Mada, Ayasha, Atha, Aratazaka, Ba'ai, Lathaka, Lara, Awasha, Tha, Atha, Panaya, Yahawa, Allah, Hayaka, Shalasha, Pa'ai, Mayam, Basha, Naha. In the English, the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 18. The feast of unleavened bread shall thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, as I command thee, in the time of the month of Abib. For in the month of Abib thou camest out of Egypt. All that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. All the firstborn of the sons of thy sons thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest in the airing time, and in the harvest thou shalt rest. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. Thrice in the year shall all your male children appear before the Most High power of Israel. For I will cast out the nations before thee, and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land, when thou shalt go up to appear before the Most High, thy God, thrice in 1 year.
So Lord say nobody could desire to come here and you know, go protect you. You know, when they do son, you stick to it. That's the most I say. That's the next thing, because the world is how you believe in, like you do have a God, like you do have no judgments, you know me, you don't have no punishment when people come against you. When it is the direct opposite, but because you're away from the Lord, you can't see that now. So now it interfering with your ability to really trust the Most High. As you say, you trust the purpose because now we there. You know these things that I'm saying here, the oppressor don't like to hear them things. We know this. And how long you see we come on? Yes, we are wrong over the cases, right? Not to say that we can't get analyzed, that's not the case, but we trust that this is the better position to be in because that is what it is better for the entire planet, especially our people. So the risk worth it, you understand? So now you have to really and truly say, hey, as the officer was saying this now, I try everything else. You understand? Now I see a structure. Ask some questions, look around a little bit more. I see a structure where Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people loving one another, building up their families, you understand, getting certain things done, right? Not getting, we call it crush. The soul getting crushed over certain things, and it's all kind of, we call it bacchanal in the communities and all that. I say, well, all right, so I could possibly ask a question or two, how I could bring this to my city, boy? How I could bring this to my neighborhood? That kind of way. That is the things you want because nobody else doing it. Nobody else had the solution, right? It's not a boast of saying this is not ourselves, but we know. But the things that the Lord laid down there is for we to learn from and to utilize because it is work. It's just simply that. So now we have to understand. We release that stupid, all them stupid thoughts and demons and them that they're pushing on me for the longest while and continue to mash you up and now decide by year by. You understand? Let me get myself all the way and on to. Let me really and truly decide by. Let me ask more that because I could see that the proof in front of me, like Christ said. If you don't believe nothing I say, forget that. Believe my works. Believe what commanded generally are not doing. You understand? All we doing here is just for soldiers. We are nothing to light up and show, you know, no fireworks and all that garbage. You understand? We're not on that. We just trying to do so and facilitate your ability to facilitate somebody else. And that's the mission. That is all it is. That's all Christ wanted. We understand to really actually understand what the whole mission is about. Anything you want to add to?
No.
All right, so
continuing reading in Hebrew from the book of Exodus chapter 24 and verse 25. La'a, Thasha, Katha, Aila, Kamataza, Dama, Aiba, Kaya, Wala, Yala, Yana, Laba, Para, Aiba, Ka, Kaga, Papa, Saika, Saka, Ra'asha, Yatha, Baka, Waraya, Ada, Mathaka, Thaba, Ya'a, Bayatha, Yahawa, Allah, Hayaka, Allah, Thaba, Shala, Gadaya, Baka, Laba, Amawa, Waya, Ama, Yahawa, Allah, Mashara, Katha, Kathaba, Laka, Atha, Hada, Barayam, Ha'a, Laha, Kaya, Aila, Kaya, Hada, Barayam, Ha'a, Laha, Karathaya, Athaka, Bara, Yatha, Wa Atha, Yasha, Ra'ala, Waya, Hiya, Shama, Aima, Yahawa, Araba, Ayama, Wawa, Shalakia, Shawam, Wa'a, Rabba'ai, Yama, Laya, Laha, Lakam, La'a, Akala, Wama, Yama, La'a, Shatha, Wayaka, Thara, Aila, Hala, Katha, Atha, Kaba, Raya, Haba, Rayatha, Aisha, Rata, Hada, Bara, Baraya, Waya, Kaya, Bara, Tata, Masha, Mahar, Hara, Sayanaya, Washanaya, Lakatha, Ha'ai, Matha, Bayaka, Bayada, Masha, Barakwa, Thawa, Mana, Hahara, Wamasha, La'a, Yada, Kiya, Parana, Iwara, Panayawa, Bada, Barawa, Athawa, Wayara, Baha, Rana, Waka, Rakala, Banaya, Yasha, Ra'ala, Atha, Masha, Wahanaha, Parana, Iwara, Banayawa, Waya, Yara Awa, Magga, Shatha, Alayawa, Waya, Paraha, Allah, Hama, Mashara, Waya, Shabawa, Allah, Yawa, Aha, Rana, Wakala, Hana, Sha'ayam, Ba'ai, Daha, Ba'aida, Waya, Dabara, Masha, Allah, Allah. And 31. Salakia. Reading in the English, the book of Exodus, chapter 25. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left until morning. The first of the fruits, Salakia, the first of the first fruits of thy land, thou shalt bring unto the house of the Most High thy power. Thou shalt not seek a kid in his mother's milk. And the Most High said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. And he was there with the Most High 40 days and 40 nights, and he did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote unto the tables of the words of the covenant the 10 commandments. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses risked not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with them. And then when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them.
Right? Yeah, man. Anything on that? On the same?
Even as we read in this here, we keep recognizing that the whole culture of the nation of Israel is instructions given by the Most High.
Right.
So these things that we see black people do, right, the way that we see black people are under the spirit of righteousness is directly how God wants us to operate. That is why David used to boast and say he shows his words unto his servants, his statutes and his commandments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. We are the ones that the Lord give direct instructions, how to behave, how to operate, how to do things. We see like what the scriptures might tell us, seed not a cattle in its mother's milk. You're not going to kill this cattle young. You're going to give this cattle a time to experience life before you sleep. You might have like 7 years, the land of the rest, before you can go and do cutting down trees and so forth. We have the dietary law, the things we should eat and so forth. All these things that we have as a culture, as a lifestyle, is because they were directly given to us by the Most High power. These are not things that black people invent. Black culture is not an invention, right? Black culture is what was sent directly to us from the Most High via instructions. You understand? White culture is when they wake up in the morning, and the feel to do something, they just do it.
Correct.
That's what we see going on with Donald Trump.
Right.
He catching our box every Monday morning. There's a new law,
Correct.
a new idea,
Correct.
a new trial.
Correct.
You understand? And when he had that spirit on him, all that spirit is going to do is kill, right, and destroy.
Correct.
That is what that spirit is going to do.
Correct.
Right? And the so-called black man, Native Indian man, and Hispanic man, we have the spirit of the Most High Power.
That's right.
Right? So we don't do things by guess.
Correct.
Right? We have a rank order, we have a structure, and we get the instructions coming on you.
That's right.
Right? And any kinks in the pipeline is always a way. Over time, it's going to be met and it's going to be flushed out.
Correct.
Right? They're going to be adjusted, it's going to be molded or shaped to
Correct.
whatever it's supposed to be.
Correct.
You understand? And we as black people must thank the Most High to have the opportunity to have his law and his spirit to fit in whichever place. Air matter.
Correct.
Right? The hand, the feet, the toe, the elbow.
Correct.
One body.
Correct.
You understand? This is what the so-called black man, Native Indian man, Hispanic man should be about. That is our power.
Correct.
Our power is not in ourselves.
Correct.
And we must recognize that. Right? As a nation and as a body of people. We see what we are able to pull off even with Black Wall Street.
Correct.
Right? Coming together. How much more we following the direct instructions of the Most High Power? How much more glory the Most High can get on the earth?
Correct.
Right, Salah?
Correct. Sweet. Solid. Yeah, if I may have to wait till the same day, Scott, that's super powerful. I ain't want to add nothing, you know what I mean? But it's so sweet because, as the officer was saying, and these kind of things they want to hold on to because you're so far from the understanding or the information given out. Is the laws of the Most High have things that adjust accordingly. It always have something to refer to. All right. So it's not like you go bounce up something like corona, let's say coronavirus for instance, right? So this disease you bounce up here, or we call it some other we call it land deal, some kind of land mix up. So somebody end up on your land, right? And it's a whole country from that level because you're not seeing it the way you're supposed to see it now. So any big, small, medium-sized issue, there's always a template or something you could refer to figure out how we could smooth this at the office saying over time. So you have no reason to do like Donald Trump and get up in the morning and I feel to do this because you have something to refer to fix your issue. Look how sweet that is. And as he's saying here, in the book in the Psalms, David could boast about this because boy, he know nobody else doing this. You know, nobody else have the ability now to fix this situation or to what to do in this situation. Right? Like if you're flying blind, you don't need to fly blind. You don't need to figure out this and figure out that. You have the ways to do it here, understand? And we now inviting it to this platform so that you could stop suffering yourself. You could stop, engaging yourself and making them unnecessary mistakes. Because the culture, the black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, supposed to be this, are growing up knowing this is how to do this is how to do that. This is how to handle every and any situation I fall into, and I have experienced men now they can explain to me. This is how this is going down because let me show you something from the mistakes we make before. When we didn't understand how to implement this is what has taken place. But now I understand what to do. This is the pathway you want to take because this line here will ensure that these other things that we make the mistakes with would not happen with you. You understand? That's how sweet it is. You don't need, you understand, to bounce your head and fight up with this and you're rushing every time you're trying to birthday and all them garbage things and them that the society pushing on you only destroying you. But when you look at the laws of the Most High and the high holy days, he gave it to celebrate, it only strengthening it, only making the people stronger. As you're saying, look how big, you understand, we went at Wall Street. Now, if you understand from me, we are not really get the real grasp then how things was with Solomon. Solomon's servant looking like Solomon. People mistaken Solomon's servant for Solomon. That is to tell you the levels we at and we comfortable. This is not some brand new like how people, men and women, they sell their soul basically for riches. When a gold chain we talking about, them things, them small thing because you have an understanding of how to structure economy, how to structure society, so you will never get trapped up in that. And that is the dangers of not understanding your culture, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. I can see it better than them. You understand? I yield with that to what? But you go ahead.
Continuing reading from the book of Exodus, chapter 32. Continuing reading from the book of Exodus, chapter 34, and verse 32. Wa'aka, Raya, Kana, Naga, Shawa, Kala, Banaya, Washa, Ra'ala, Wayataza, Wama, Atha, Kala, Ashar, Ashar, Dabara, Yahweh, Atha, Athawa, Bahara, Saya, Naya, Waya, Kala, Masha, Mada, Bara, Athama, Wayathana, Aila, Pana, Yawa, Masai, Waha, Waba, Ba'a, Masha, Lapanaya, Yahweh, Lada, Bara, Athawa, Yasai, Yara, Atha, Hamasai, Waha, Ada, Taza, Athawa, Waya, Taza'a, Wada, Bara, Allah, Banaya, Yashara, Rashara Allah, Atha, Ashara, Yataza, Waha, Waba, Awa, Banaya, Yasha, Allah, Atha, Banaya, Masha, Waya, Parana, Iwara, Panaya, Masha, Waha, Shayaba, Masha, Atha, Hamasai, Waha, Allah, Aila, Salakia, Panayawa, Aida, Bahawa, Lada, Bara, Athawa. Exodus chapter 35 and verse 1. Waya, Pahala, Masha, Atha, Pala, Aidatha, Banaya, Washara Allah, Waya, Amara, Allah, Hama, Allah, Laha, Ada, Barayam, Ashara, Tazawaha, Yahawa, Labai, Shatha, Athama, Watha, Yama, the Aisha, Ma'aisha, Bala, Aka, Wabaya, Wama, Hasha, Bayaya, Shaha, Salakia, Yaha, Lakam, Padosha, Shabatha, Wana, Laya, Hawa, Kala, Ha'aisha, Bawa, Mala, Aka, Yawa, Matha, La'a, Taba'ai, Rawa, Asha, Bakal, Masha, Batha, Yakum, Baya, Wama, Hasha, Batha. The reading in the English, the book of Exodus, chapter 32, 34, and verse 32. And afterward, all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord, the Most High, had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when Moses went in before the Most High to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he commanded. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face showed. And Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with them. Continuing, book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 1. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, These are the words which the Most High hath commanded that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Most High. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
right? Again, we touched on this last week, but we will touch on it again. It's important to understand why the Lord saying, rest as the officers was saying, we have laws so that now when they land, you understand when you call it, reach 6 years, you'll get a little time to rest now because you got to destroy the land if you don't give it the proper time to rest. Right? The Lord put in certain measures in place to make sure that things will be better for you. That is all the Lord's laws on, you understand, based on that. How to understand have a society running proper and that what is the best possible thing for them. Right? And that is what you want to really get to understand. That is what we're telling you. You need to plug into the ISUPK because the world does not have it. The Christian church doesn't have it. The Muslim mosque doesn't have it. Whoever else trying to guess and all that, they don't have it. Their society, understand, they're trying to hang on to a piece of them, ask them where the laws is. Ask the Muslim man, where your laws on beard is? Where your laws on multiple wives? How to deal with people, how to deal with wives, how to deal with brothers, understand how to fix the solution. He telling you, understand? He just telling people and them if there's not a Muslim, you can charge them extra, they can extort them, you can do all kind of evil things to them, you can sell them narcotics and all kind of madness, understand? Yeah? You can put your hand on a girl as like beating she that kind of way. There's all kind of stupidness that is come up with as opposed to what the Lord saying. If this is time listening to you, understand? You could do so and just the same thing about that the brother ain't listening to you, do so and you carry him into a council and they try to resolve it, try to gain back the brother sister. Why is he doing this? Because show you what to pick in the first place in any case, right? Because people are saying about, oh, people are showing a nice face and all that, but if you put them through certain, you understand, parameters beforehand, right? Certain things you could avoid as much as possible. You wouldn't avoid all, you understand? But again, as the officer was saying, you get yourself the best chance at getting things to smooth over because that is the type of individual this person is. So that this drama between man and woman and Bob the Builder and all of that garbage could stop. Because it's not supposed to be there in the beginning. And here's what we're going to do. It's not to say we don't want people to have each other and we don't want babies and all that. We want them things to happen, but we want more responsibility. But because you're not in a place where you understand what it takes to do that, you understand, you're going to make them flops. You're going to make them unnecessary mistakes. But all they could do, you understand, is take some time to get to learn. When you come inside of here now, you get yourself equipped so that now you're capable now to see things from a real perspective, real life, and what it will really take. And what could be the consequences of me not understanding certain things. So now you can eliminate 90% of your problems inside your communities, inside your homes, inside your marriages, with your children and all that, because now you're getting an understanding of what does work and what does not work, what I need to hold on to. Right? So that now your person, everybody else can stop laughing at you and call the cockroach, and you understand, single fathers and single mother homes and all that. When he had nothing, you understand, he inferior. Ask him now, okay, you want to laugh so much. How you just do this? How you just fix that? You know what he just tell you? If you want the next woman, nobody gets you have to leave that one. So you say let's say a man like an next woman, nobody gets it, right? And it helping him, right, to build his community. Boy, this is real helpful, nobody gets it. She earnest, she have a good spirit, nobody gets it. You telling me, understand, you have to leave the next woman to get the other woman, right? And this be so taboo and all this garbage and there's so much bacchanal surrounding these things that I mean common sense telling you that you follow that the time that a woman taken to make a child, right, is 9 months over the cases. You're looking at all that time span. What it is you follow that could be done within that time span if I have maybe 2 or 3 children coming. If you could picture a community where you have more children coming up training to be different dentists and doctors and lawyers and farmers and all of them different things, you will face the kind of trouble you're facing. Look, they just like to talk this shipness and push this monogamy on people, right? The eastern side of the world not doing that and never run into them kind of problems. African people who indulge that keeping that using our culture have their people and they ain't begging nobody for nothing. They live in dusty and all that, but they're comfortable and nobody calling them dust and cockroach and they living in dust, bathing in cow urine. You understand? Nobody telling them that. The richest man in the world, who's a ketamine fiend, have 14 children. There's 14 children here? Somewhere around there, you understand? With many women. And nobody calling he no cheater and all kind of shipness. So we have to really understand by what it is they really selling we. A high value man and all kind of, it's only we buying that shipness. And we have to understand that they now could wink at us. And they're going ahead and pushing ahead with their shipness. Whatever them want to do, as Donald Trump gave anyone he want to do, he doing. and you feeling some type of way for taking on your culture. Any man or woman, you understand, you could be at all places at all times. You have to use your head. It has shrink the numbers, but the numbers need to understand certain things. This is what has worked for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. We have to understand these things to cut aside that bullshitness, to cut out all this BS, you understand? Because they're selling me a dream. And here's what's going on. This is not about I call it a good time. This is not about that. You have to understand what is used for things. That men, you understand, that don't have, you understand, a wife or wives. That many in the Bible that didn't have wives, didn't have a wife. This is not about that. This is the proper understanding of what this work, what your culture look like and what you're supposed to stay away from. That's why the Lord telling you not to marry them, because now you're taking after their customs and your community is getting destroyed. And their own that destroyed, not on blast. Their children who's fiends and addicts, they're not on blast. And they're trying to have centers on them because they know you get locked up for your little 5 piece in your pocket. But you mix up in their culture. You mix up in Rastafarianism, but that's the East Indian culture. You pay the penalty for it, but you know what they having for them? They having little shelters and all that, little places, little pods for them to go and dope up. When you sit down in jail, your family members sit down in jail, people get unalive, you understand? People get human trafficked. Essays happen out of that. And they have nice centers for them to get high as a kite. And you facing the penalties, so what it is you really holding on to? That is what you have to see so-called Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Stop letting them selling them dreams and them lies. It's nightmares they're selling we. Complete, you understand? Absolute rubbish. We have to separate. That's what the Lord said, separate from them. Gather yourselves together. Our nation not desired. Our people, our race not desired. You are not desired, so-called Black man, Hispanic. Use the first that people say, well, here we go hire them. Anybody's get credit like this sisters them who was the responsible for the spaceship and all that. Purple or something movie they make behind them. They run to give them any praise. Benjamin Banneker, whoever it is that invent all these different things, Beethoven and all these Black innocent creators and inventors, they run to give them any praise. Jesus Christ, innocent, the disciples of them who have the number one selling book on the planet, the thing that is used in the court system for you to swear on, the thing that is used to make laws. There's Black people on, you understand? They run to give you any praise, they run to give you any credit for that. They try to whitewash and they said the Bible say he Black. But them pushing, you understand, that he white. Absolute garbage. They running to give you any praise, they run to give you any credit. So-called Black man. That is the thing that we must understand and stay and get away from that shippiness and find yourself in the nearest ISUPK near to you. When bombs about to drop, people still, you understand, trying to York graduates and Harvard and by the hell with that. We trade, you understand, our own businesses and good living for what? For a name and a door. And look at the condition of we people in them. We have any law schools? We have any court? We just get justice. You understand? We have any hospitals? We have any network anyway? So it's time to let go of all that shipping as we did. I'll be like cheering in a sandbox. Time to come out of that, you understand, and get yourself together. That is what we need to be on. That is the mission, you understand? That was you always wanted that for we. All right? Do you want to add it or you could?
Because it's just this culture.
Correct.
It's just the culture at the most high that the so-called Black man had to pick it up.
Correct.
Right? Right? Because we see in here that we just read 6 days shall will be done. But on the 7th day there shall be to you a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Most High. Whosoever worketh therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations and upon the Sabbath day.
Right.
And we know due to Christianity, right? Put yourself in a position just to love to argue. Sometimes when I watch, when that Christianity or that Egyptology or that Islam doctrine take you, they just love to argue.
Correct.
For no reason.
Correct.
Because these instructions was given to the nation.
Correct.
So that the men in charge of businesses,
correct,
the men in charge of different like fields, wheat field, the corn field,
correct,
the grapes field, they will know that cannot work their workers on this day.
Correct.
Everybody had to get rest.
Correct.
This is a day that a man will get to himself.
Right.
So you give that order that we should not work on this day.
Correct.
All employers going to know there is no work on the Sabbath day.
That is it.
You can't be on money 24/7 like the white man.
Correct.
Triple by double by quadruple.
Correct.
Because he just wants you to just keep working.
That is it.
For he to get richer and richer and richer. No.
Correct.
That
Correct.
is not the nation of Israel. They're going to have compassion for your people.
Right.
Right? They're going to consider to have households, they have families, they have things to get done.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? So Christ has to come and show them, hey, this is not talking about your everyday movements. This is
Right.
talking about working for an employer.
That is it.
If your ass should fall, your ox should fall into the chain, go and pick it up.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, your sheep fall long and a cracky foot stick whole day balling.
Correct.
And you just nah, today's Sabbath.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Someone like your grandparents or your parents or your child or something, so whatever happened to them, you know. Baby's not born on Saturdays then.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you might need to get some water, some hot water based on the season. Let me say it's winter. You understand? Let me say it's winter. You have a light fire. It's in the Middle East. It's all seasons.
Correct.
So no fire and light, and everybody that's turning block of ice. You understand what I'm saying? There's ice again. Ice no, ice again. You understand? Because you can't kindle no fire. That's what the scripture is talking about. These fairy tale scenarios that Christians love to bring about this Bible, it is not real.
Correct.
You understand? You need to get into the ISUPK. You need to understand the spirit of the Lord. You need to connect with other people.
Correct.
In the ISUPK, you're going to be meeting with people from all over the world.
Right.
So that is how these scriptures going to make sense too.
Correct.
You have people living in Trinidad and Jamaica, in North America,
Correct.
on all sides of the earth.
Correct.
So the sense of the scriptures will come to you. But if you're just living up in the Caribbean here, in a tropical climate,
Right.
you will talk a bunch of rubbish
Correct.
about these scriptures.
Correct.
Because if a man reading these scriptures on the other side of the world, and you read it on this side of the world, it will make sense to you. But we're so divided that we're not able to draw the sense of these scriptures. We don't have the right people about teaching us these scriptures to bring the comparisons and the scenarios and to prove all things.
Correct.
So we need to get into the ISUPK so we can understand what these scriptures are talking about. So the Sabbath day, that is at the arrest. That's for all employers to know. Shabbat.
Correct.
Don't work these people then to the last breath, like we in Egypt.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yes, Salakia.
Correct. Super. Damn right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, right. Reading on from the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 4. Waya Amara, Masha, Allah, Kala, Idatha, Banaya, Yasha, Ra'ala, La'amara, Iha, Hada, Bara, Ashara, Taza, Waha, Yahawa, La'ama, Waka, Wa, Ma'atha, Kama, Thara, Wama, Laya, Hawa, Kala, Nada, Yara, Rabba, Labawa, Yaba, Ya'a, Atha, Ara, Wamatha, Yahawa, I, Haba, Waka, Saipa, Wana, Kashatha, Watha, Palatha, Wa Ara, Gamana, Watha, Wala Aita, Shanaya.
Super heavy, damn right. Yeah.
Wa I Aratha Aya Lama Ma'ada Mayama Wa I Ratha Taka Shama Wa I Tazaya Shatha Yama Washa Mana Lama'a Wara Rabba Shamayam Lasha Mana Hama Shaha Wala Watha Ratha Hasai Mayam, wa Abba Naya, Shahma, wa Abba Naya, Mala Ayam, La Abha Wada, Wala Kashana. Verse 10. Wakala, Kakama, Laba, Bakam, Yaba Awa, Waya, Aishawa, Atha, Kala, Asha, Tazawa, Yahawa. That was the end of verse 10 in the Hebrew. In the English, the book of Exodus, the book of Exodus chapter 34, reading from verse 35. Start at finish at 10. The book of Exodus, chapter 35, and verse 3. So, verse 4. The book of Exodus, chapter 35, and verse 4. And Moses spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Most High commanded, saying, Take ye from among you an offering unto the Most High. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it, an offering of the Most High, gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram's skin, dyed red, and badger's skin, and shittim wood, and oil for the light, and spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, and onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate. Verse 10, and every wise-hearted among ye shall come, and make all that the Most High had commanded. And verse 10.
Right, so you see the different the comparison, right? As opposed to the chapters before, they was rushing now, you understand, to do the wrong thing. Now the Lord showing any mercy now. He doesn't in, you understand, we call it, whip them and put them in line, which you're supposed to do, but that is not the only thing then. Not only what the Lord correctly, but now he put in your own part in terms of what to partake in, what to do, you understand, what to function in. Like he going on to even say in verse 10. The wise-hearted among you, which means the men with craftsmen, the men that handle certain things where the says, you understand? This is what you want to do, right? You go ahead and make them things in them to make a effort. I will show you exactly what to do. Don't worry. I know the person sell their dream, you understand? They sell their lies. I know in Egypt, there's only corruption they learn, just like in America. Only corruption, all people learn, you understand? So now I will put you back on the right path in terms of everything you're supposed to do, and I'm giving you a culture so you will practice this and passing it down from generation to generation. Yeah. Right? Anything on that?
No, last.
Right? So again, so Tawara, which means thank you, understand, for tuning in. Right? So you want to again, the number to the school 4798286, you understand? Or you understand, YouTube, Facebook, you can leave questions and comments. We want them things coming in. You understand? One of we go see it and go answer accordingly. Wherever the guest is, and send it up the chain of command if you don't understand your question. So we get back to you. All right. Tune in, you follow, ask questions, stay tuned for events, and look food drives and anything that we doing again. All right. So again, we have classes from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. On Fridays, we had the Hebrew class from 2 o'clock, and especially when you tune into today, you understand, the Sabbath service at 10, from 10 a.m., you understand, to about noon. All right. Again, this is for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man to come back to your culture. Then the Lord, you understand, have been gracious enough and merciful enough to all of us, because the Lord knows the kind of chaos and mix up we face and up to today, especially in these dark times, because of the World War III, you understand, you want to be you're supposed to be serious all the time, but now, you understand, before your time up, you have a very short window, you understand, to make amends then, to make the change that you're supposed to make, and it's about your people. You follow the reason why, you understand, you wasn't doing it before, because you're disconnected, you're by yourself, you're an individualite. As opposed to you was born an Israelite, you understand? Or you was, you feel like you're born on an island. You're thinking that way now. That's not what it is. And we just do this, and I just feel why I do it. That's not what it is. In the beginning, the officer was saying, we have a certain sinners, and the Lord created you, and he can bring you back to those sinners, and he can take the breath out of your lungs as fast as he put it. Right? So you want to get back on stream, you follow on the way to do that is through the ISUPK under Command and General. Yeah. Anything you want to say? All right. So to all again for tuning in, thank you. Right. That brings us to the to almost to the end of the service. Right. We are about to think. Yeah, I imagine. You understand? Right. Yeah, let's go down. What do you want from about the shop? So I know that here. I will put it. That's last week. Sir,
Laya Shala, which means to Israel.
Sir. Right. Upon flat, passing one and right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was right. So, Los Prending the Food,
Abanawa,
Shamashmai,
Kodash,
Ya,
Shamka, Yahawa, Malaka, Matazaka, Haya, Aisha, Baratiza, Kawa, Haya, Shamaya, Matanawa, Lakam, Kai, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kabawat now, Wasalak now, Kabawat now, Wala now, I want, above, Oshino, Mayon, Right, Ya, Laka, Malakba, Mahal, Aparat, Melonium, Aman.
English will be just said was our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy
hallowed be
name,
thy name,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
kingdom come,
kingdom come,
will be done,
will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven.
give us this day,
Give us this day
our daily
our
bread,
daily bread,
forgive us the
and
debts,
forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not
into
into
temptation,
temptation,
but deliver us from
but
evil.
deliver us from evil.
Thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Right, the Hakam, the prepared for in Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shai,
Abu Bashar,
Yahweh Kashai,
Tananawa,
Tananawa,
Akak,
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 Rapahah,
Akak,
Kalmakala,
Akak,
Kalmanawa,
the war,
Akak,
Akak,
Ta'ah,
Ata'ah,
Baksarim,
Tisari,
Akak,
Akak,
Makoyam,
Akiyam,
Mati,
Mafia,
Akak,
Akak,
Alwakawa,
Arakawa,
Tamala,
Atamala,
Garisha,
Garshan,
Bashim Yahushai,
Hashem Yahushai,
Waraman.
Tawarama,
In English, we just said, but Lord,
Lord,
in the name of Yahushua,
name of Yahushai,
please give us the power,
please give us the power,
power to heal,
power to heal,
all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
power to cleanse the leper,
power to cleanse the
power to
lepers,
raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
power against unclean
power
spirits,
against unclean
cast
spirits,
them out.
cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua,
Name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Right, the prayer to bless the in the Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushai,
Rapanawa,
Aknawa,
Ba'asha'al,
Ashal,
Abaya,
Abaya,
Safari,
Saparia,
Barak,
Barak,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua,
Yahushai,
Waraman.
Waraman.
We just said in the English was Lord,
Lord,
in the name of
in the
Yahushua,
name of Yahushua,
bless us,
bless us,
and the church,
and the church,
and the school,
and the school.
in the name of Yahushua,
Name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Ashah,
Asha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Alahari,
Alharia,
Ayan,
Ayan,
Fa'a, Isaiah,
Azaya,
Isaiah,
Saya,
Ayin,
Yi,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Asha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Barakasa,
Aratasa,
Ayatan,
Yamatan,
Amawat,
Mawat,
Galka,
Galka,
Ali Nawam,
Alionawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka, Na, A,
and the woman,
the woman,
Allah,
La,
the son,
the son,
Shawama,
Sharma,
Shal,
Sha'al,
Hawa,
Hawa,
America,
Shamarka,
Hawa,
Hawa,
Salta,
the Zalka,
Ya,
Ayai,
the Bilga,
the Ka,
the woman,
the woman,
Shamash,
Shamash,
A,
the Kalka,
Moria,
Maria,
Malayala,
Malayala,
Hawa,
Hawa,
Shamarka,
Marka,
Makara,
Rai,
Shama,
Samar,
Akapash,
Anashka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
the Shama,
Samar,
Zaka,
Yaaka,
the Mawaka,
Mayaka,
Maika,
Mayak,
Bai,
Gai,
I will look.
Aliam.
In English, I will just say what I will lift up my eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
To the hills.
unto the hills.
My
The
help.
whence cometh my help?
From Yahweh.
My wealth come from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
It made heaven and earth.
You must suffer thy foot to be
You will
moved.
not suffer thy foot to
He
be
that
moved.
keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
Will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel.
he that keepeth Israel
So neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
The Most High is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy keeper.
The Most High is thy shade.
The Most High is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by
The sun
day.
shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by
nor the
night.
moon by night.
The Most High
The Most High
shall preserve thee
shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy
Shall
soul.
preserve thy soul.
The Most High
The Most
shall
High
preserve thy going
shall
out.
preserve thy going out
And thy coming
and
in.
thy coming in
This time
from
forth.
this time forth
Even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Right, the Psalms in Hebrew. Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Adamayalaka,
Adalamaka,
Atakarash,
Atarash,
Atashqua,
Atashqua,
Atayahana,
Atanaya,
Abayabeka,
Alalaka,
Gamaya one,
Alawan,
Wamashayaka,
Mashalaka,
Sha'a,
Sha'a,
Orash,
Ash,
Alamaka,
Adalaka,
Airo Yamwa,
Alamawa,
Samwa,
Samwa.
Slake, Sawat, Sawat,
So what?
Uya,
Yeah,
Yat is a that's a wall.
will write us a wall.
Ads for one year,
I just a water.
I'm a wall,
I'm a wall,
like a wall.
like a wall.
When I cut them,
I cut to the number.
Magawi,
Magari,
Wala,
Wala A,
the Saka,
the Ska,
Shami Shala,
Shamia Shala,
what,
I want.
Ya,
Yeah,
wa I is a wall,
I just a wall.
La Picard,
Wala Paragua,
Aleka,
Alaka,
Maria,
Maria,
Yakarakwa,
Yagaratwa,
Ahalia,
Ahadia,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Bashmai,
Shamai,
Alayam,
Ayam,
Waaba,
Ahaba,
Mahagaria,
Magari,
Bal,
Ba,
Imawan,
Alwan,
Malak,
Alak,
Malasha,
Shah,
I'm a Shamia,
I'm the Shah,
as a wall,
as a wall,
Yamashawa,
Damashaw,
Alawa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Wa,
Alawa,
Sarawai,
Alawai,
Banyalawat,
Dablewa,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalam,
Ashalahum,
Tamadia,
the Madiam,
Tasaya Saraa,
Asayas, Sarah,
Yamyet,
Fabiadia,
Baraka,
Balata,
Yashwan,
Ashwan,
Shamarwa,
Shamarwa,
Ayan,
Bayan,
Ara,
Ra,
Yawa,
Alawa,
Man,
the Mon,
Adama,
Adama,
Sayakamu,
the Atamo,
Damaya,
Damia,
Salaka, Nadaya Mawa,
Ayadamia,
Ara,
Ra,
Kala, Wakazahara,
Kasahaba,
Kazaba,
Kasaba,
Wakazal Manai,
Kasananai,
Kana Sayaka Mwa,
Kasaslamia,
Masha,
Ashaw,
Mwa,
Mawa,
Derasha,
Marasha,
Nawa,
Nanawa,
Ah, Nawa,
Nawa,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
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 Sayakamu,
Jarathamo,
Dagala,
Alagalo,
Kwash,
Squash,
Napanya,
Napanya,
Ka,
Aka,
Tahash,
Ash,
Shaba Ira,
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 Bakalahaba,
Alaba,
Salaha,
Ah,
Ariyam,
Yum,
Kankawadapa,
Amna Dap,
Bas Iraka,
Saira,
Basa, Babasawa Baka,
Pasabaka,
Tabahalam,
Talam,
Malaha,
La,
Panyam,
Lam,
Palawan,
Lawam,
Weba Kwashu,
Baswa,
Shanka,
Shamka,
Hawa,
Hawa,
Baswa,
Baswa,
Yabalwa,
Labadu,
Ya Ayai,
Ayai,
Weba Pawa,
La Pawa,
Weba Barwa,
Labadu,
Weba Daiwa,
Wandaiwa,
Kaya,
Baya,
Ata,
Ata,
Shanka,
Shamka,
Hawa,
Hawa,
Baka,
Abaka,
Ayawan,
Aliwam,
Alkalha,
Kadawa,
Aratiza.
Aratiza.
The English, what we just said was keep not on silent.
Keep not of silence,
Most
O
High,
Most High,
hold thy peace,
hold thy peace,
be not still.
and be not still,
Most High,
Most High,
follow,
for lo,
enemy,
thy enemies,
get them up,
make it tumult,
they that hate
and
thee,
they that hate thee,
lift up the
have
head,
lifted up their head,
keep in God,
they have taken crafty counsel
against thy
against thy people,
people, and consult
and consulted
against thy hate
against thine hidden
They have
ones.
said,
They have said,
come,
come,
let us cut them
let us
off
cut them off
being
from being a nation.
The name of
The
Israel.
name of Israel
There will be no more.
will be no more in remembrance. We are consulted together with one consent. We are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
Moab,
of Moab,
the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gebal,
Ammon,
Amalek,
Amalek,
the
Philistines,
inhabitants of Tyre,
inhabitants of Tyre, Asur,
also joined with them.
also is joined with
They
them.
have fought with the children
We
of
have
Lot.
both for the children of Lot. Salah,
Who wanted them?
who unto them,
As unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
and to Syria,
as to Jabin,
the Jabin,
the book of Kishon,
the book of Kishon,
was perished,
which perished,
Endor,
and Endor,
they came us down for the earth.
came us down for the earth.
Make the nobles,
Make their ogres,
correct,
like correct.
and said,
Yea,
yea, all the princes,
all their princes,
Asabah,
and Sabbath,
and Salmona,
and Zaluna,
who said,
said,
let us take to
let us
ourselves
take to ourselves
the house of the
the
Most
house
High
of the Most High
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my
Oh,
power,
my power,
make them like the
make them
wind,
like a weed,
as the stubble before
and
the
the
wind,
stubble before the wind,
and the fire burning the
and
wood,
the fire burning the
and
wood,
the flames set the
and
mountains
the
on
flames
fire.
set the mountains on fire. So persecute them
With thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
make them afraid.
make them afraid
With thy storm,
with thy storm,
fill their faces with shame.
fill their faces with shame,
They may see thy
and they
name,
seek thy name,
O Most High.
O Most High.
Let them be confounded and
Let them be
troubled
confounded and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish.
and perish.
And men may know
That men may know
thou,
that thou,
his name alone,
whose name alone
is the house
is Yahweh,
and the Most High
Most High,
over all the
over
earth.
all the earth.
ISUPK curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things
and
living.
all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of
in
Yahweh,
the name of Yahweh,
to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Evil that
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and
and punishment and destruction
the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against
that
us,
speak against us, like prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school.
and evil that
Send evils and curses,
and punishment
and punishment and destruction
the heathen
to the heathen,
and shake loose
and shake loose
the
the treasure
rich of
of the
Israel
rich of Israel
and refuse to
that
give to the
refuse to
school,
give to the school,
force the riches,
force their riches
so into
to
thy
enter
temple,
thy sanctuary.
and evil
Send
and
evils and curses,
and punishment and
and punishment
destruction
and destruction
to the Edomites
to the Edomites,
and the nation
and the nations,
and their drug
and their
dealers,
drug dealers,
sports
the court system,
prison
the
system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of
all the governments of enemies,
Amalek synagogues and
Amalek
armies,
synagogues and armies,
Roman
the
Catholic
Roman
Church,
Catholic Church,
Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku
Ku
Klux Klan,
Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
Skinheads,
Skinheads,
Swastika
Komatazi,
Gay movement,
Gay Movement,
Lesbian movement,
Lesbian Movement,
Spies,
Spies,
Workers of Witchcraft,
Workers of Witchcraft,
NASA
NASA
Space
Space Program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
Open up the internet,
open up the internet,
and the areas,
and the areas,
cable access channel,
cable access channel,
and the radio channel,
and the radio channel.
convict the spirit
Break the spirit,
of any of thy
many of thy people,
that seek to stop
that
us,
seek to stop us,
bring the swift
and the
destruction
swift destruction
to all the
to
heathen,
all the heathen
stand in the
that
way,
stand in the way,
try to stop us,
try to stop us,
broadcasting your word,
casting your
to
words
all the planet,
to all the planet Earth,
that puts all the
that puts all
place,
the plagues,
want them to go to
cause
us,
them to go to and fro
to the earth,
to the earth,
and consume
and
them,
consume them,
and the place shake,
and the plague shake,
the house of the
the
thief,
house of the thief,
and the murderer,
and the murderer,
and the hour shot,
Yahweh Shai,
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel,
down with the flying
down with
sword,
the flying saucer,
punish all the heathen,
punish all the heathen
come up against
that
us,
come up against
and to
us,
speak that
and to
word,
speak thy word,
what's to be known by
because we
all,
known by all,
that it is the angels
that is the angels
that have done,
that have done it,
supposed to be spread to the media,
but to be spread through the media,
to all the
to
whole
all the
world,
whole world,
supposed to be shaken by
because of the shake that I come,
in the name of
in
Yahweh,
the name of Yahweh Shai,
you always
thank you always,
be it.
so be it.
Psalm 10. All right. Right. All right, I'm gonna visual bit of down to see the Torah, so that can, right? Psalm 10. Right. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Right. Barak. Yahweh Shimon Shaibrak. Yeah. Mata.
Mariam Shabbat, Mariam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barak Yah.
I'm gonna visual, you're gonna give one piece salute. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Rock. Yahweh Shabbat. Right, Mata. Right. Anybody that would like to be anointed at this time? All right, that concludes today's Sabbath service. Come on. No, that's it.